Welcome to the Timeless Marketing Podcast with Brian Kurtz, your connection to insights from some of the top direct response marketing minds on the planet.
Hey, it's Brian Kurtz here, host of the Timeless Marketing Podcast. Today's episode is a clip from one of the 2-hour calls inside Titan's Accelerator, my private mentorship program for direct response marketers. Before we get to that, I have one question for you. Do you have a marketing insurance policy? If you don't, you need one. And that's why I created Titan's Accelerator, which is one of the most giving communities and serves as the de facto board of advisors and marketing insurance policy for over 250 of the best and brightest direct response marketers, copywriters, media buyers, marketing agencies, senior executives, anyone in direct response marketing who is committed to growing and scaling their business. The bottom line, you don't have to grow your business alone. And you don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars either. Titan's Accelerator is 1/10 of the price of most groups of its kind. I know because I hosted a group that was over $20,000 a year. If you want to see how Titan's Accelerator can help you grow and scale your specific business, go to briankurtz.net/help. That's BRIANKURTZ.net/help. And with a private membership, you'll receive access to the full presentation from today's episode, along with the Q&A and discussion that followed. As an added bonus, you'll receive access to a vault filled with many more private calls just like this one. Again, if you want to see if Titan's Accelerator is a fit for you with no obligation, go to briankurtz.net/help. That's BRIANKURTZ.net/help. And feel free to email me directly. I respond to every email with questions about this episode or just to say hi at brian@briankurtz.net. Now on to today's episode.
Okay, I think Ryan Levesque is in the house.
What's going on, Brian?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
Good. You gonna kick ass today?
Definitely gonna kick some ass, kick ass and take names, as we say over here.
So, Ryan's got his whole little setup there. He's got 2 computers. By the way, on each one of them is a cartoon channel, and the other one is I think it's pornography, but I won't.
No, I just like to play clips of the Jets season in front of me. I just like to have that, just so if you start having too big of an ego, I can just kind of look at this and say, yeah, that's right.
Okay, you win.
Wow, he really got you there. That was good, Ryan.
So, those of you who don't know Ryan Levesque, you should know Ryan Levesque. And those of you who do know Ryan Levesque, I'm sure you followed him. I'm sure many of you have attended either a webinar, a seminar, something that he's done over the years. He's a force of nature with not just a force of nature, but he's a force of nature, but he uses his brain to do it. I mean, I think he studied neuroscience in college, and so a neuroscience marketing guy, super dangerous, but super dangerous in the best way. And what he's going to talk about today are his quiz funnels, which is his specialty, not his. People say, Ryan. I always say Ryan has quiz funnels. Ryan is so much more than that. But you get pigeonholed to some degree, and we're not going to pigeonhole him. But he is going to talk about quiz funnels. And he's going to specifically talk about the 6 secrets to building a highly profitable quiz funnel step by step. So this will be tactical. It'll be useful. And then at the end, I think he has the guy who wrote Ask and Choose has an ask for you, which is perfectly fine because it's a great ask, because he's got some new programs coming up and we were talking about niches earlier in this call, Ryan. So you have a couple of things going on with a couple of niches that you really think are going to take them to the next level. And people in this group are in those niches, by the way. So we'll get to that later. And then anything else you want to sell, you can sell all you want. I'm not taking an affiliate commission, but you should be with Ryan Levesque. If you want to learn anything about anything to do with, how to segment your list, how to put message to list, anything that I did in the old-fashioned way in the 80s and 90s, and now Ryan's perfected it online. You really want to be with Ryan in some way. So I'll leave it to you to go wherever you want, Ryan, and you're
awesome.
on.
Well, listen, Brian, thanks so much for the kind introduction. Super excited to be here, and it was great. I just popped in halfway through Vernon's hot seat, which was great, and I came in literally at the question of how do I get more people to see my video, to watch my videos? And I'm thinking to myself, well, I've got something that you might want to consider. So for anybody who's looking for a way to get more eyeballs to your stuff, get more people to your webinar, more people to your video sales letter, get more leads, get more customers, I'm going to be talking about something that I believe is something that everybody should have in their business. It's something that in the 15 years that I've been in this world of doing digital marketing and direct response marketing has been more effective than anything else. And that is using the power of a quiz funnel. So specifically today, we're going to talk about how no matter what type of business you're in, you can explode the growth of your business in 2021 using the power of quiz funnels. Now, what is a quiz funnel? Well, a quiz funnel, I want to kick things off by actually showing you an example of what I mean by this, because when we talk about a quiz funnel, we're not talking quite about a quiz. We're not quite talking about a funnel. It's almost as if a quiz and a funnel, if they were to have a baby, get married, this is what we'd be looking at. And so if we go to my screen here, you're going to see this is an example of a quiz funnel. And I'm going to take you through this in just a moment. This one's a little bit meta. It's a quiz funnel. What type of funnel is right for your business? Take this assessment to find out what type of online digital marketing funnel is right for you. And we start with the page that looks a little something like this. People click this link and they answer a series of questions. I'll zoom this in a little bit to make it a little bit more readable for you. What type of product are you selling? Are you in what type of niche are you in? Are you selling physical books, health and beauty, e-commerce? What's the price point of what you're selling? We ask people a series of questions to help diagnose and then ultimately prescribe the right type of funnel for you. Now, if you're curious, if you want to check this out and if you're taking notes right now, the link to go through this, if you just want to learn for yourself, is takethefunnelquiz.com. Now, this funnel that I just shared with you right here, if we go to my iPad for a moment, is a funnel that we launched in 2020. We did it right in the middle of COVID-19, in the middle of a global pandemic, when the world was falling apart. And we had to pivot our business in a big way. And we did so leaning on our number one strategy, which is to use a quiz funnel. And that funnel that I just showed you right here is a funnel that in less than 55 days, make this a little bit fatter here. In 55 days, that funnel that I just showed you generated $8.59 million in the middle of the global pandemic when the world was falling apart. And we did it using what I'm about to show you here today. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk you through these 6 steps to build a quiz funnel like this in your business. I'm going to go through a bunch of different examples. And I want to try to leave as much time as possible for Q&A, Brian, so we can make this as interactive and kind of as informal as possible. This isn't like a, I just put this together for this group here, so I'm happy to be available for Q&A. But I want to go through some stuff because I think it's going to set some important groundwork. I'm probably going to answer a lot of the questions that you might be having right now, and then we'll go to any additional questions at the end. So I showed one example of a quiz funnel, but I want to share that this is something that you can use no matter what type of business that you sell. So I know Vernon in your case study, we're talking about selling a software product, right? So you can use a quiz funnel to sell SaaS or software. You can use a quiz funnel to sell physical e-commerce, like this example right here. You can use a quiz funnel to sell online digital courses for anybody who has an online digital course. You can use a quiz funnel to sell a book. And I'm going to show you a few examples of some of the books that we've sold on the back of a quiz funnel that have generated literally hundreds of thousands of sales and have produced bestsellers. If you sell a digital membership, so just like this group right here, selling a membership on the back of a quiz funnel. If you are a coach, a consultant, a copywriter, a freelancer, and you're looking to get private clients, you can use a quiz funnel like this example right here. If you're a consultant and you have a digital marketing agency, for example, like this example here, or even if you've got a physical brick and mortar business, whether it's a gym, a restaurant, a local service business, like if you are a CPA, or as I'm going to show in a little bit more detail later, if you are even in the financial services industry or the real estate space, I've got something really exciting to share with you as well. This is something that you can use even if you're just looking to generate leads online, whether it's B2B leads like this example right here, or B2C leads. Now, this is for you if you sell more than one product, so you've got more than one thing that you sell. This is for you if you sell one product or service. You just got one thing basically that you sell most people. This is for you if you want to quickly grow your audience or email list, if you want to generate cheap, highly profitable leads. If you're just looking for a new way, something innovative, something different, something outside the box, if you want to try something new in 2021 to grow and expand your business and to give yourself a competitive advantage relative to your competition, or if you're simply looking for a proven step-by-step process that you can model, here's what we're going to cover in our time together. First, I'm going to just really define so we all have the same language together. What is a quiz funnel exactly? And how is it different, as I mentioned just a moment ago, from a traditional quiz and a traditional funnel? What makes it unique? We're going to talk about the 3 types of quiz funnels. And this piece is important because I'm going to show you the 3 types of quiz funnels to choose from, the psychology and neuroscience behind each one, and how to decide which one's right for you. This is going to be one of the assignments that I want to encourage you to lean into here today, is to come up with and decide which of the 3 types of quiz funnels makes the most sense for your business. I'm going to show you over a dozen different examples, all sorts of different situations, as I mentioned just a moment ago. I'm going to show you some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they create one of these quizzes. And we're going to wrap things up with a case study, a brand new case study that was launched not too long ago that's getting 43-cent leads, already responsible for over $1 million in revenue. And I'm even going to take you behind the scenes of some cool technology that makes it all possible. So first things first, what's a quiz funnel? What is a quiz funnel? Well, a quiz funnel in a nutshell is, I like to think about it like this. Imagine when someone lands on your website, instead of first showing them a video, instead of trying to push them into a lead magnet, instead of trying to jam your offer down people's throats, just like if you're having a conversation with someone in person, you first begin by asking a series of questions to better understand their situation. That way you can then customize the product or offer or message that you put in front of someone based on their situation. So I gave an example of this just a moment ago, but I'll show a few other examples. So this is an example of this in the golf market. And some of you may have seen this example before. It's one of my more famous examples. It's led to a big exit, which I'll share in just a moment. But here's an example of a quiz funnel in the golf space. This is you can imagine a page that looks a little something like this, where we have a video. In the video, the copy basically reads, hey, this is Jim McLean here, and I've been helping golfers for the last 25 years. And what I found is that every golfer, from the rank beginner to the seasoned tour pro, has one of what we call 10 big mistakes in their golf swing. We call these mistakes swing killers. And what I've also found is that I can identify what your number one swing killer is in under 60 seconds, just by simply asking you a few simple questions about your tendencies, where the ball tends to land when you play, what happens when you're swinging the golf club. To find out what your number one swing killer is and how to fix it for free, simply click the yellow button below, and I'll see you in just a few minutes on the other side. So we begin by asking a series of questions to diagnose that person's situation and then ultimately prescribe the right solution for them. And it allows us to present the offer, in this case, through a video sales letter, as you can see right here, in a way that's customized based on their specific situation, as opposed to a one-size-fits-all approach. Another example, this is Amy Porterfield. Amy Porterfield, if you're not familiar, she has the number 1 or number 2 marketing podcast on Apple iTunes and the entire internet. We worked together. She created a quiz on her most recent launch. And the quiz was, what type of course should you create for your business? She helps course creators online. And similarly, we asked a series of questions to help identify what type of course is right for you. And I believe she has 5 different types of courses. Based on the answers to the question, she'll recommend one of several options. You should start a starter course or a signature course. And on the back of this quiz, she had a launch that did over $5 million on the back of what you see right here. And I already shared with you this quiz right here, takethefunnelquiz.com. We did over $8.59 million in less than 55 days. Now, why quiz funnels? So I just got to note that my pencil on my iPad here is less than 5%. So I'm going to go as long as I can on the iPad. But if we lose power, then we just won't use the iPad. That's kind of how things will go. So The question I first like to begin by asking is why quiz funnels, right? So we've talked about kind of what the opportunity, but why does a quiz funnel make sense? Well, there are three big reasons why a quiz funnel makes a lot of sense. I'm going to cover them one by one. And starting with reason number one, which is incredibly cheap leads. We go to our slides here. Incredibly cheap leads. I'll show an example of what I mean by this here. Incredibly cheap leads. Oftentimes, you can cut your cost per lead. And by lead, I mean acquired email address. So email subscribers. You can often generate leads at 1/3 to 1/10 the cost. And I'll give you an example of this. This is a gentleman by the name of Maston Kipp. He's a mutual friend of Brian's and myself. We're both part of a mastermind altogether. He decided to experiment with a quiz funnel with a little bit of help from us and was able to cut his cost per lead online from $6 a lead to less than 76 cents per lead. And I'll show a little bit more behind the scenes of his funnel in just a moment. Another example, this is Sean. He's in the marathon running space. So Sean helps marathon runners of all obscure niches. He was able to cut his cost per lead from $2.59 to less than 23 cents per lead by switching to his quiz. Here's another example. This is Beryl. She has a photography business. She was able to cut her cost per lead from $1.67 to 14 cents per lead. Now, whenever I bring up this idea of cheap leads, if we go to our iPad here, one of the biggest questions people always ask me is, okay, cheap leads, that's awesome, but how do the leads convert? Do these people actually buy? Well, it takes us to reason number two, and that is incredibly high conversion. And by conversion, what I mean is how the leads convert on the back end. And I'll explain the reason why. So big reason number two, incredibly high conversion. And the reason for this, for all of you copywriters out there, you should be salivating over this. By using a quiz funnel, it allows you to customize your copy and your offer on the back end of your quiz based on that person's situation. And by doing this, you can often double to triple your sales conversion rate. On this quiz that I showed you right here, if we go to this screen, the one that I showed just a moment ago, we were actually able to increase our sales conversion rate by 3.2x. In other words, when someone comes through this quiz versus someone comes through another path in our business, the sales conversion rate is 3.2x times anything else that we do in our business. Now, the reason for this, obviously, is because you can customize what you put in front of people. Gabe brought up the idea to Vernon of putting the idea came up when Gabe raised the idea of having conversations with your clients. The idea came up of possibly putting a testimonial in front of someone. Well, by customizing, by being able to customize what you put in front of someone after a quiz, you can put in front of someone a custom testimonial, a testimonial that matches their specific situation. I'll give you an example of a business that did just this. This company called Snack Nation. And Snack Nation is a company that delivers a physical box of healthy snacks to your home or to your office. And reached out to us, got some help, and created a quiz funnel. On the back of the quiz funnel, they more than tripled their business. You can see the numbers right here. They ran a head-to-head 50-50 split test for about 6 months with their old control landing page versus this quiz funnel. They tripled basically every number. Their revenue per visit, they cut down their average sales cycle from 11 days to 8 days. So not only were they getting more money, they were getting to the money faster by putting a quiz in front of people. And you can see here they landed on the Inc. 500 list, making over $24 million per year on the back of this strategy. But it's not just cheap leads and high conversion, it's also incredibly high volume. And I'll explain what I mean by that. See, this is not just something that can generate a few extra leads in your business. This is something that has the potential to blow up your business in a huge way. In fact, it can grow your business by upwards of 10 to 50x. Again, another mutual friend of Brian's and mine, I tried to cherry pick and handpick some examples of folks that are in Brian's world just to kind of show you what's going on. This is Luis Carlos and his wife, Gabby. And they run a business in the Hispanic market where they help parents. So they help the Spanish-speaking market, across Mexico and Central and South America and Spain and throughout the world. And they launched a quiz, which was basically a parenting type quiz. Well, the quiz went completely viral. And as a result, and I'm going to share these numbers, they almost seem like I'm making them up, but they actually are the real numbers. I've actually understated them by just a bit. They generated over 1,018,522 opt-ins in less than 10 days after launching their quiz. Not a misprint. That's not hyperbole, not an exaggeration. They built an email list of over 1 million people. Now, you might be wondering, how much did they spend on traffic? They spent less than 26 cents per lead. And the ROI on the back of that was a 4x ROI. They made over $1 million in less than a month on the back of this quiz traffic. And this list continues to pay dividends and continues to grow to this day. Now, the reason a quiz can go viral like this is because when you are producing a quiz, and this is also one of the reasons why the leads can be so incredibly cheap, is because people share that quiz with their friends and their colleagues. If you take a really great quiz and you share it with someone, let's say you found the quiz by clicking on a Facebook ad, and then you grab the link to that quiz, and then you share it with a buddy of yours, how much is the advertiser paying for that share that you've shared with one of your friends? Nothing. It's free traffic, right? So you might pay for that first quiz taker, but when it goes viral like this, the cost per lead, the cost per quiz taker gets incredibly low. So incredibly high volume.
On the ROI numbers, Ryan, you were basically talking about the ROI within the launch or within that period of time, but you're building a list of 1 million names. I mean, you're not even taking into account the ROI on an ongoing basis, or I guess you can if you want to keep track of that, right?
This is uber conservative. So let's just say this. They spent 26 cents per lead. They decided to go big. They saw the results of this. They spent 26 cents per lead, which rough math is about $250,000, a little bit over $260,000. They spent $260,000 on traffic. And within that first month, within 30 days of running that campaign, they spent $260,000 in 10 days. Within 30 days, they'd made over $1 million. So they've already 4x their money in the first 30 days. Now they have, to your point, a list of 1 million people. And if you talk to Luis, he'll tell you that they've launched product after product after product by simply reaching out to that list of, it's well over 1 million people now, by the way, but that 1 million person list, and just doing a deep dive survey and saying, hey, we know that XYZ is a problem that a lot of parents are struggling with. What's your biggest challenge? They take that information, launch the next product. So they just keep having hit after hit after hit, because they built this list on the back of a quiz funnel. They know so much information about these people based on the questions that they've asked. And that ROI, to your point, is uber conservative because it doesn't take into account any of the back-end revenue that they generate on all the subsequent product launches and back-end high-ticket offers that they make to these to this list of people as well. Now, I said that there are 3 things. I lied. I've got 2 more quick reasons I want to share with you. Reason number 4, incredibly valuable data. Now, you probably may have heard that there's a bit of a battle that's going on in big tech right now, right? Apple and Facebook are going head to head, and it's kind of one of these battles that it's interesting to see how it's going to play out. But basically, what Apple has said, if you haven't been following it, is Facebook, we're not going to allow you to pixel your people on our platform and let you track people's behavior outside of the Facebook ecosystem into our new iOS 14 platform. And so what that means is it's increasingly important that you don't rely on the Facebook and other big tech algorithm to learn about your customers. So there's this democratization of data that's taking place. And there's this trend that I see playing out right before our eyes. And it's what I call moving away from algorithmic personalization and moving toward interactive personalization. So algorithmic personalization is where the algorithm on the back end is personalizing what content you see, what ads you're served based on what the algorithm thinks you might like. And I just posted something funny on my Facebook post literally yesterday, how I've been getting served ads about this medieval neck torture device thing. You can follow me on Facebook, you see what it is. And I have no freaking clue why I'm being served this ad. Like, I don't have neck pain, I've never clicked on anything, but this ad just keeps getting served to me. Well, clearly it's some sort of bug or some issue in the algorithm, because I'm not an ideal client. I'm never going to buy the thing, but I just keep getting served it. Now,
it must have been the
interactive
S&M stuff you were doing, Ryan.
Yeah, it was the torture. They saw me torturing you with all the Jets clips from the year.
Exactly.
And they said, maybe it's you. It's you signing me up for stuff to get me back for that. It's probably what it is.
And I didn't get that. I would have loved to have gotten that.
Yeah. But interactive personalization is very different. So algorithmic personalization is where the robot overlords are deciding what you need to see based on spying on your camera, listening in on your conversations through the microphone on your phone, and spying on your private search history in your browser history, piecing together, hey, we think you're going to want this. Interactive personalization is one where the user actually volunteers information. They're actually telling you information voluntarily so that they can have a better experience. So they are actually actively or interactively involved in the personalization process. Well, if we go to our reason number 4 here, incredibly valuable data, quiz data is an incredibly valuable asset. See, the reason why big tech companies, if you've been following the stock market, there's just been this bifurcation of the economy where big tech companies are winning in a huge way, small businesses are losing in a huge way, and the reason for that all comes down to the fact that big data, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, all the big data companies have an incredible amount of data on all of us. Data is the single most valuable asset. Now, when you take control of that data, instead of relying on the algorithms, and you use something like a quiz funnel to ask a series of questions to understand a person's situation, you now have a list of people that's not just names and email addresses. It's names, email addresses, and 15 or 20 data points about that group of people. Well, when you have that, it can increase the value of your business by 100x or more. I'll give you an example of this. This is a company in one of the oldest, stodgiest industries in the world, life insurance. It's been around for over 500 years, this industry. It's one of the least innovative industries in the world. But this company, out of nowhere, decided to build a quiz. They built a quiz funnel, and they created a quiz-based life insurance company, and out of nowhere, had a valuation of over $450 million from a startup position. Why? Because they used a quiz funnel to build this incredibly valuable database of people using this quiz. I mentioned that golf example just a moment ago, a quiz funnel that we built a few years ago. Well, we amassed an audience of over 10 million golfers. And one day got a phone call from a little company called NBC. And NBC said, hey, we're looking to get into the online space in the golf world with a partnership with the Golf Channel, and made an irresistible offer to buy the company. Because they said, instead of starting from scratch, we'd love to start with this audience of 10 million golfers. And it was a high eight-figure acquisition. It did the same thing again in the business funding space. We had a quiz funnel that we built called Loan Builder. And Loan Builder, in partnership with a company called Swift Financial, we got a phone call one day from a tiny little company you may have heard of called PayPal. And PayPal made an offer to buy the business for $183 million because we built this quiz funnel that had amassed this audience of over 10,000 small business owners, and not just names and emails, but all these data points around it. So if you ever have any aspirations someday, now or in the future, to possibly sell your company, this is a value add multiplier. And last but not least, this is a strategy that doesn't just serve you, you win, but more importantly, your customer wins. Because this helps you not only better sell, but better serve as well. And this is a woman by the name of Dana Abraham who built a quiz funnel like the ones that we're going to go through here in just a minute. And you can see, the results. She launched her quiz funnel. She got 10,748 leads in less than 14 days. That led to making over $1 million in her business in less than 12 months. But most importantly is the impact and the transformation that she's providing for people on the back of this. Because instead of marketing in a one-size-fits-all way, trying to jam her offer down people's throats, she's using a much more consultative way of selling. She's asking questions that allows her to better sell, but also better serve. And you can see the feedback here from her audience. People have literally told her, you've changed my life. Now, I'm going to go through the steps to set this up for you and your business, but I wanted to start by getting you excited about why this strategy is so powerful.
Thanks for listening to the Timeless Marketing Podcast with Brian Kurtz. Visit briankurtz.net and click podcast at the top of the page for a full transcript and show notes. If you're interested in working with Brian personally inside of Titans Accelerator, go to briankurtz.net/help to see how Titans can help you grow and scale your business. That's BRIANKURTZ.net/help.